Hello, welcome to JIBRIN Angle on OWELEKETV. My name is JIBRIN, and this is my angle. I shall be talking about U.S. politics today, but just shortly. But before then, let me play a video. I need you to watch a video. So after the video, after watching the video, I'll come back and make my analysis on what we're about to watch right now. So yeah, let's go.
The first major American car company in generations, and his rocket company.
As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA. This election, I think it's the most important election of our lifetime. This is no ordinary election. The other side wants to take away your freedom of speech. They want to take away your right to bear arms. They want to take away your right to vote effectively. This is a must-win situation. Must win. Register to vote. Okay, and get everyone you know and everyone you don't know, drag them to register to vote. There's only 2 days left to register to vote in Georgia and Arizona. 48 hours. Like, text people now. Now. Oh, and then make sure they actually do vote. If they don't, this will be the last election. That's my prediction. Nothing's more important. Nothing's more important. To register to vote, there's only in Georgia. Text people now. This will be the last election. That's my prediction. Nothing's more important. Nothing's more important.
Okay. You see these two people. I've decided to play this thing, but hold on. Let me see. Yeah, good. I want both of them. They're both pictures to be on the screen. These two people have something in common. Both of them are billionaires. Though Elon Musk is the world richest man now. He's worth almost $300 billion. A sort of, I think, 200 and something, almost 300 billion. So he's about 10 times richer than, or more richer than Donald Trump. But both of them are billionaires. And you see what I want to note here. I want this to sink into some people's head. We are all human beings. It is very difficult for you to know our hearts. It is very difficult for you to know if we are sincere about what we are doing or not. You just can't. Only God knows our heart. But as human beings, and that's why we have psychologists. They actually go to the university to study psychology, human psychology, how to be able to read human beings' mind. You can't get it perfectly, but you'll be able to read someone's mind, and probably sometimes even get close to that, and sometimes get it right. But for those of us who didn't go to school to read psychology, what we use to access someone's mind or sincerity, to weigh someone's sincerity in what he or she does or is doing, especially when you are a politician, it is your actions. We use your actions because they say action speaks louder than words. Forget about what people say. I tell people, forget about how Donald Trump says things. Look at his actions. For the 4 years he presided over this country. Review his actions. What was his record? That is what matters. Did he do much better than what we are having today under these monstrous Democrats called in the name of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? That is what you should ask yourself. Forget about the personality. Forget about the messenger. Take a look at the message. Listen to the message. Decipher the message. Sift the wheat from the chaff. Forget about what you see or hear. Just take a look at what has happened. Record. Now, back to my point. These two men on the screen that you can see, I'm deliberately leaving these two people on the screen is deliberate because I consider them now. These two people are the most important people in the world right now. The point I'm trying to make is that these two people are giving it all, risking all. Do you know what it means for those of you who are Nigerians? Do you know what it means for Dangote to publicly campaign for a presidential candidate in the election? Have you ever seen that? Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever watched that? It is always suicidal for any top businessman, especially popular businessman, to come out openly and publicly and campaign for a certain candidate. That is suicidal. Business suicide, financial suicide. That is what it means. Do you know what it means for Elon Musk to stick? This is the world richest man. World richest man. He's the richest in America, apart from that, the entire globe. Yet he's doing, do you know what it means if Donald Trump loses this election? Elon Musk his businesses are doomed. This man is also a government contractor. He's executing contracts for the government, including the government, this current government. I think recently he was supposed to be awarded about $40-something billion worth of contract by the Biden-Harris government. Yet, this man is putting everything on the line. His entire do you know what it means if Donald Trump loses election and the Democrats retain power? They will so muzzle Elon Musk businesses. He may never be able to retain that world richest man for long anymore. Never. They will so squeeze and strangle, try to take oxygen away from all his businesses. Yet, he is sticking all for America and Americans. This is how you know who is sincere. If anyone who can take such a risk has already given out his heart. He's opened his heart on how he thinks or what he thinks. Like I said, action speaks louder than words. That's exactly what Elon Musk has done. He has done something unprecedented. Businessmen don't do what he did, what he just did. Campaigning publicly, standing on the campaign podium of a political rival of the government of the day. Who does that? What businessman does that? Businessmen are always selfish. They always think about themselves and think about their businesses. But this man is a selfless person. He's a patriotic, the most patriotic businessman in the US now. He is calling the bluff of the powers that be. He's risking all. His family, his businesses for America and Americans. He can never be more patriotic. And that is it. This man, I have come to love this man because I naturally love selfless people who are not selfish. I love people who are not selfish. And that is the way to live life with fellow humans. Now let's come to the elephant in the room. Donald Trump. This is the man I consider the greatest president Nigeria that US ever had. I have my reasons. Let's go back to the 4 years he spent as the president of the US. His record speaks for him. Like I said, action speaks louder than words. His records are there. I don't want to. That is the purpose of this. Is not to begin to talk about the past. It's about the future. So, if you have been following, I've talked about this brief in a more elaborate manner about his record in the past. In his 4 years, he'd had best this, best that, unemployment, best, women unemployment, men unemployment, black unemployment, black home ownership, everything that has to do with demographies. It was just breaking records and making new records. Now let's talk about today. Now this is a president just like Elon Musk, a billionaire too. He has a comfortable life. He has ruled. He was the immediate past US president. You will ask yourself, what is this man looking for? Remember, it's on record. This one is what I'm going to say now is on record. Go search for it. It's not a it's a public knowledge that Donald Trump became poorer after he left US presidency, the White House. That was an anomaly in the history of the US. Every president from the beginning to the end became richer after they stepped down or after they left the White House. Every US president, it's on record, except for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, and the irony of the whole thing is that he was the only billionaire that ever became president, that ever was the president of the US. The only billionaire, yet the only billionaire who lost money as the president then. That's just it. All his salaries was always given out to different charities. So he never received any of for 4 years, he was never paid a salary. He refused. He just distributed it to the poor, give it to charity organizations, different charity organizations. Before he became the president, he handed over in trust. He handed over his entire business to avoid distraction, so that he can focus on the American people and the country. And as a result of that, after he became president, the record is on record. He lost money. He even dropped from his Forbes rating as among the richest men in the world. He dropped to, I've forgotten the number, but he dropped. They say he lost how many millions of dollars? He lost in his business. Lost. He didn't abuse his powers. He didn't exploit his powers as the president to attract more businesses, to more patronage to his businesses. He didn't do that. So you will ask yourself, what is this man? When he left the other time, he lost money. What is he coming back to do? He had the power to make more money. He didn't do that. What is he coming back to do? That is one evidence of sincerity in him, the sincerity of purpose. Another evidence is the one that has been going on for years, about 2 years now, where he's been prosecuted left, right, and center over phantom crimes, evidences that does not hold water, unprecedented evidences that were never prosecuted, evidences that has made rubbish of the judicial system, the federal judicial system, not even only federal, even state judicial system, evidences that have made rubbish of some judges, liberal judges, evidences that have exposed how hypocritical, how corrupt the democratic establishment, not just democratic establishment, including some Republican establishments are corrupt as well. Evidences that have exposed how corrupt the establishment is. That is just the reality. Yet, the man is still fighting. His family has been in the light, in the news. His business, everything. They have thrown the entire kitchen sink at him. His businesses, they are trying to bankrupt him. They are trying to trying to intimidate, harass his entire family. And above all, they have attempted killing him twice. They've attempted killing him twice. That means his life is on the line. Even when they shot him, just like Elon Musk will always say, you will know someone. The best time to know someone is when the person is facing a challenge. That is when you know someone, the personality of a person. Someone was under fire. A man under fire was already shot and bleeding. The security agents that were all around him were trying to force him to be down. He stood up. And even in the line of fire, he managed to stick up his head, taking the risk of being shot. The man missed, the sniper missed the first one that got him in the ears, in one of his ears rather. There was a possibility that as he stuck up his head, the sniper could have gotten him at that point. This is a man who, at that point, even when he was under fire, he muzzled down the security agents around him to stick up his head and with his fist in the air, fight, fight, fight. That is how you know someone's personality. That is how you know how sincere someone is. This man they've given him they've sent everything at his direction. Send everything you can think of. Death threat, family threat, business threat, everything. This man is still fighting. You see, this campaign the security agencies have advised him to stop these public campaigns. So as it is right now, he is literally disregarding the advice of the security institutions. He's still going ahead with the election. This man has nothing to lose if he just pulls away and go back to his comfortable life and live a peaceful life with his family, run his business. But he said, no. This is the way you can determine who is actually patriotic, who is doing things, who is out to better the lot of the masses, not his own lot. For those of you who say Donald Trump is selfish and he's a narcissist, he's this, he's calling him names. And people, you are believing him, you are shallow-minded. You have fish brain. You are myopic. You don't have common sense, because it doesn't take that much for you to know that everything you have had, all the negative things you've heard about Donald Trump, are all lies. Because, like I said earlier, action speaks louder than words. This man's actions from when he was the president to this moment, to all the fires, the death threats, business threats, financial threats, everything they have thrown at him, none has stuck. None sticks. None will ever stick. Can't you see that this man has everything to lose if he continues fighting for this presidency for us all? This man is literally fighting for us. Can't you see that it is very easy for you to know that you are being manipulated by the mainstream media? It is easy. Use your common sense. Look at this man. Assess this man's actions. He has everything to lose, even at this stage. And he has nothing to lose if he chooses or decides to pull out of the race. He has everything to gain if he pulls out. But no, he's still going in. All in for it. So God bless these two men on the screen, Elon Musk and Donald Trump more. God bless them for this sacrifice. This sacrifice to Americans, or for Americans. This sacrifice for America as a country. And this sacrifice for the world, because the truth is, we need Donald Trump for global peace as well. We need him for global peace. What happens in America affects other parts of the world. And that is why some of us are crying and yelling and wailing for people to understand times and season. That this is the time for America to return to its global state, to return to its global leadership. Look at what is going on all over the world. These people, the Democrat Party, have lost control of the globe, of US and the globe. US has never been more under threat as we feel today, as we can see, not even feel. It's all over the news. Everything good has plummeted. Everything evil and negative has skyrocketed in the US now. So, you judge yourself. Use your common sense. These two people have everything. They are doing this and they have everything to lose. If they lose this election, both of them have everything to lose. Yet they decided to do this. That is to tell you, this thing just made me love Elon Musk. Usually I don't have love for rich people as such. I don't have anything against rich people. I just believe most rich people, most rich people are exploitative of the less privileged. They exploit people. Some of them, very few of them, are selfless, just like Elon Musk. And Donald Trump. For those of you who don't know Donald Trump, everything bad has been said about him. Where I have watched his former employees, a lady came out, so many people have come out to talk about him over the years and up to recently. There's this lady that came out, I think I watched her movie, clip, was it 2 days ago? Who worked for Donald Trump for some year, for about, I think she said she worked 10 years ago. She was just a swimming pool attendant. And she talked about how Donald Trump actually condescended to the lowest of the lows in his employment list. That every month, Donald Trump usually visits her place of work. I don't know which of the resorts, one of Trump's resorts or hotels. That anytime Donald Trump visited, he would always go around, shake people, and even she herself, who was just a mere swimming pool attendant. Donald Trump will, apart from shaking, go beyond shaking and ask questions. He asks questions, employees, junior employees, talks to them direct, one-on-one, and asks them, is there anything you think I should know? Anything you know or you think I should know about? That is someone who is selfless, humble and selfless, and empathic and sensitive to people around him. That woman's testimony wasn't the first one. We've had several testimonies of people who have actually worked for Mr. Trump. How nice, how good, how generous he is. Even those people who worked, because he's into construction, he builds skyscrapers, and he's a builder. So even laborers and artisans on most of his sites, the same thing. They say he actually, when he gets to the site, he engaged in conversation with not foremen are heads of they are head of labor. The laborers, people who are just laborers. That is the kind of person he is. Not the kind of personality that the mainstream media are projecting to the world. You are on the wrong course if you are among those that views Donald Trump as a threat to the US or threat to democracy. It's either you are ill-informed, myopic, shallow-minded, or you are just being evil. You know all this, but you just hate the man for probably personal reasons, out of envy, or jealousy, or whatever. And this is my angle.